Saravana to all of you. Now, I hate big cities. Okay? I'm not a man to be found in any big cities. I hate it, but I'm feeling pretty much at home in Hyderabad. This is the reason because Hyderabad is also the home of chicken biryani. And there's a lot of similarity between chicken biryani and climbing because both of them takes time. The end result is absolutely out of the world. So I feel pretty much at home, and thank you again for getting me here. Now, if you're thinking that I've written it wrongly, it should be road less travel. That's what normally people tell me that I do. It is actually a road less travel, and you realize why. Because the kind of road that I travel upon doesn't have traffic jams, no traffic pollution, and obviously no traffic police will give you a ticket or something like that. So obviously my roads are much less trouble. What I'm trying to do today is just take you all of you with me on a beautiful journey around the globe. We'll be covering all continents, some of the places. Perhaps I was the first human being to step there, and perhaps nobody has ever gone there before. And again, like all good stories, it starts with a long time ago in a mountain range far, far away. There lived a little boy. This boy was me. Obviously, that's not me. I was never just handsome or fair. But I had a father, just like any of you. And he died when I was very young. But I think the only good thing he ever did in his life, besides being my dad, was that he gave me a globe. When I was really a tiny toddler, instead of giving me some stupid toy, he gave me a globe. And I was really fascinated, and he told me, son, that's your planet. I said, really? Can I just hold it in my hand? And it became my favorite pastime that every day in the morning I would shut my eyes, spin this globe, and stop it with my finger somewhere. And then open my eyes and see where my finger is. And when my dad came back in the evening, I would pester him about that place where my finger has stopped. What is this place? What is the country? What do the people look like? And he told me a lot of stories. And I'm absolutely sure all of them are made up, cooked up, because he had never been anywhere in his life. But what it opened up to me that this world is an absolutely fantastic place to be. There's a lot of things to see here, even if he has cooked them up, but he was pretty good at making stories. And it is round and doesn't have edges. And it doesn't matter which direction I head, I will always reach where I want to be. Because my job, or my desire, my passion is to explore. It doesn't matter where I am. Because I like to believe that I will travel, I'm just passing by from one time and space to another time and space. It doesn't really matter wherever I am. It's not that I want to go and see Taj Mahal or something like that. There's no specific destination for me. In fact, I have no destination. For me, destination is a place from where I go to another place. So, I figured this out pretty early in my life that world is not a box, and I refuse to live inside one. That's my message to all of you. Let's begin with a picture. You all guys are yapping enough. Let's see some pictures now. Now, if you look at this picture, is there anything remarkable about this picture? Tell me. Any of you, just quickly, one of you bright students. Is there anything remarkable? Just, oh, it's a nice shot, it's a nice looking picture. So what? Big deal. Is there anything remarkable about this picture? No big deal, there are lots of cheap things. But what is so remarkable about this picture? You're nowhere close enough. No. Because this is what I'm trying to tell you, that this world is not what it seems. Nothing is obvious. Don't expect anything. Because you're looking at a peak, so you're missing out what is the exceptional thing in this picture. If once I point out, then you'll realize. Okay, look at. Sorry? No. Look at this. There's a summit, right? If you draw a straight line from the summit down, can you see 3 dots here? That's 3 of us climbing this peak without any rope. That's the remarkable thing, that we are practically doing something with this society. Yeah. So the lessons learned from this, almost nothing is what they seem to be. This has no relevance to what I'm talking about anyways. I don't think I speak sense at all. So like when I started looking at the world, I also figured out that our world also goes up vertically, and which I realized that not many people go vertically up. Most people go sideways, left, right. I like doing this up and down. And I'll tell you the main reason why I like this, because in a vertical world, like I will say I live in a vertical world instead of a horizontal world. The good thing about vertical world is that there is no boundaries. There's no, nobody checking your passport anywhere. You don't need to take a visa to go up. From here you can go right till moon, and there won't be any passport control or immigration required, stuff like that. So that's why I think that my world is much better. I can keep going up. And this is the places which really attracted me, the highest peaks of all the 7 continents. The North Pole and South Pole, I figured out that not many people have been there before. And so they kind of became my earliest of my desires and passions in life, that I must go to these places and visit them and see that what is it all about. So let's look at some of the pictures. Northern Lights, you all know where that is, that happens. What is this? You can't say it. Then climbing frozen waterfalls like this is again, I was always looking for things that which normal people don't do, because I was always fascinated with the unknown, with the unexplored, with the things that people normally don't do. So if you have to entice me into doing something, you should tell me that, Satya, let's do something which nobody has ever done before. And I won't even ask you what it is, but I'll jump into it, because that's what I want to experience in life. And believe you me, most of you realize this, but maybe you don't live with that dictum in your life, that a human life is capable of doing infinite things, believe me. As for your mind and body, there is absolutely no limit. I still don't know what my limit is, right? But the thing is that when, as a human being, we are capable of doing so many things, why should I restrict myself to just one single field, or just by experiencing one thing in life? Because zindagi mile na mile dobara, that kind of thing. So I want to experience everything. Now this is one of my top 3 technical climbs that I have done in my life. This is a peak in Bolivian Andes. Just sharing this with you. And these are the kind of places you'll find me. There I am somewhere else. So these are the places you have to look for me. There is another climb where we're doing a vertical wall. So actually I'm leading up there somewhere and looking down at our tent, which has been hanging by the side of a wall. And that's the glacier down below. So if you just step out, you'll fall about maybe 1,000 meters. So you have to be really careful here. So when I show this kind of pictures, people often tell me that in a place like this, how do you do it? You know what I'm talking about. So and I said, you know what, very carefully. That's why. Now here, what I'm trying to show you, one of my free solo climbs here, climbing a frozen waterfall like this without any safety rope or any safety net below. Why am I doing this? Believe me, I love my life. I love living. I love every moment of my life. I'm not suicidal, for God's sake, I'm not. Although death is a very good friend of mine, but I'm not suicidal. But what happens is, if you continue to stay within your limit, okay? If you always continue to stay within your limit, you'll never realize what you're capable of. That's why I'm constantly and consistently pushing my limits. And I won't say crossing my boundaries, I will say I'm redefining my boundaries. I'm sure as a human being I have a boundary somewhere, but I'm redefining it. If today I'm standing here, I'm not crossing my boundary. I'm just pushing it further. I'm still within my boundary is now here. And tomorrow I'll push it further. So I'm never crossing it, I'm staying within my boundaries. I would never use the word which Vipin said is a conquest. I have never conquered anything in my life. If I have, it is my own limitations, my own boundaries. You can't conquer yourself. You cannot even get anywhere close to it. This is the kind of activity that I do. You are wondering that what this guy really does. And just today, one of the students asked me, sir, your life sounds a lot of fun. 365 days you're traveling around the world, climbing and living your life. How do you make money? This is a good question. Why do I need money? I make money because you need it. Then I was explaining to her that how little you really need to be happy in life. And this is the great outdoors has taught me all my life. That to be really happy and content, you really don't need much. Just have to follow your passion, your dreams, and really go for it. Don't be scared of anything. Or, like somebody said, tinkering and having fun. That's exactly, I'm tinkering with nature perhaps. So that's a brilliant example that you get. And if you keep doing this, you realize that money is not actually important. Not really. And if you make the right kind of choices in life, instead of getting into a competition between i4 and i5 and Mercedes and Benz and like flash apartment, I think you can lead a very good life without having almost anything. And for me, the biggest surprise every day morning when I get up is that I'm still alive, which is a big surprise to me. That how come, because most of my friends are dead who started climbing with me. Every year I lose more of them. I have been through that situation many times. And well, when you see things like this, so obviously people ask me that, what were you thinking at this moment? And I said, you think I was thinking? If I was thinking, I wouldn't be there, I would be sitting somewhere in a little more comfortable place. So, what I'm friend tell you is here is that couple of things. Don't accept anything the way it has been told to you by your parents or your teachers. All my respect to the teachers, and we must lionize them as John told us. Of course we must. But then challenge them. Ask them, sir, why is this? So when I train people into climbing, I tell them that if I'm telling you that hold your eyesight like this, you ask me, sir, why not like this? I'm an actuarian. I love asking questions and I love fielding questions. You should ask, you should challenge everything. Don't accept anything because it has been written or told by somebody else. Because tell me, nobody really knows you the way you are, right? Why should you follow somebody else telling you to do this? If somebody tells me to do this, I said, why should I do this? Maybe it works for you, it might not work for me. So I'll first question it, experiment it, dissect it, tear it apart. And after that, I might actually agree with him that, yeah, you're right. But I will undergo that journey, undergo the dissection and really having a close look at it, living it, rather than just saying, you know what, this road is better than that one. And I'm always taking the worst road because that's, I love creation. And I have a motto of saying that if you're ever lost in a jungle, let's say in Hyderabad, don't look for the trail. Make your own and follow it. Believe me, you'll reach where you want to be. Again, one of my more normal clients. This is, you are seeing in Antarctica. There's a beautiful little feature. I just thought I'll show you guys some pictures of the polar regions. We are in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, who knows what I'm doing. Like he was telling that we are here because on a Sunday morning we have nothing better to do. People say, why do you do these kind of things? I say, I have nothing better to do, and neither am I qualified to do anything else. Incidentally, I have not done a formal education in my life. I went to school and college. My name was there, but I never used to go because I would always be kneeling outside with my hand around my idea. So then finally my principal told my mom that please take this guy because he is setting a very wrong example for all my other students. This is going skiing to the North Pole, and you have this kind of phenomena because we are traveling on frozen Arctic Ocean. This is again one of my homes, beautiful, like land of midnight sun, because in the polar region you have 6 months of darkness and 6 months of light. This picture was maybe taken about 2 in the morning or maybe around midnight. Dragging on and on, like I said, I don't believe in any destinations, I don't believe that I have to reach anywhere. And when you have a big world at your disposal, why would I say that I belong to Hyderabad or to Delhi or to India or any place? Just say I belong to planet Earth. I think that should be the answer for all of us. I'll just share some of my homes around the world, like I said. They are beautiful, they are majestic, they are fantastic. Good thing about these homes are that you can wrap them up when you want, put it on your bag and walk. These are highly mobile homes, as I like to call them. And I love them. I wouldn't trade my homes like this with even a palace or a villa in Hyderabad. This is one of the rooms of my home. So any guess which room is this? The bedroom. This is a bedroom. There's a bedroom in my house because I keep waking up in these kind of places. Then this is my kitchen and dining hall. Tell me, have you ever seen anything this beautiful? This is normally the room with the view. This is the view I wake up to and then sleep to. Wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. This is my garden where I go for a walk. And this is when I have to go to the toilet, I do this. So it's quite a challenge, like even doing simple things in the mountains, and it just shows you that it's not difficult, although it might look very difficult and challenging. Do it, it's not much. So I thought Hyderabad, everybody loves eating and cooking, I love cooking. So I thought there's a recipe for climbing. This is what you need to be a climber. Somebody was asking today, sir, how can we become a climber? So here you are, just follow it. The only thing, the most important thing is the brain part which you have to leave behind. If you want to be a climber, just do that again. And it doesn't matter which way you go up or down, you will definitely reach the top eventually, because if you fall, you will go down and then you will go up. So it's okay, you still reach the top. That's not a problem. And this is a kind of a sample of what all kind of things we have to carry on our back. Then these are all rock gears, these are all ice climbing gears, these are ropes and helmets and climbing boots, and some other kind of thing. This is an oxygen cylinder which people often use on Everest. And if you look at the collective, and I have not put the foods in there, but collectively, if you weigh about 50 kilos, once you have all these things on your bag and backpack and on your body wearing the food. Your weight will go up at least by 20 to 25 kilos. And on top of this, you have food in your sack and stuff like that. So imagine how much weight you have to carry on this, on a mountain, on a good expedition. Now, wherever you go, what makes the place special for all of us? It's not really the place per se, but I believe it's the people that I come across. And although I have no family anywhere, people tell me that how can you live like this? And I said, you're wrong, because I've got families everywhere in the world. I've got a home everywhere in the world. Believe me, I've got a family in every 196 countries in the world, except North Korea and maybe. Rest all 193 countries I should have homes. So what really brings the place back to me is not so much as the landscape, not so much as the fantastic vistas that I see, but it's the people with whom I have interacted. So the mountain, I always say, it's my bias of course, that mountain people are the nicest and the coolest people in the world because they live in cold places. But they're also very warm-hearted, very generous. They don't have these kind of things in our mind that, suddenly a stranger has come in. Like I have walked in a very bad shape to these villages and villages around the world. It's not in Himalaya, but anywhere, these people. And just ask for shelter, food. It has been given to me readily. They have accepted me as a member of the family, opened their homes to me. It has even happened that they have left me there because I was sleeping and they all have gone out to work. The house is open, empty. I can just pick up anything and go away. If you want to rekindle your faith in humanity, visit in the mountains and meet these people. They are just amazing. They are full of stories, they are full of laughter, they are full of fun. Because for them, this is it. They live for the moment. They live such a harsh and hard life that for them, this is it. And for most of them, many in India, I know villages where they have no idea if there is anything called Delhi. If there is anybody called Prime Minister or President, they don't have that concept. Whatever they have in their valley, by the river, is that's the thing for them. And obviously, we will also get exposed to these kind of places. So my overall outcome is that life is a climb, keep it giving, but the view is great. And pain is momentary, but giving up is forever. So never give up. Go for it. A quick moral lecture to end with after I'm talking to students here. Don't aspire to be anyone else but you. A lot of people tell me, Satya, we want to be like you. I said, why on earth do you want to be like me? Good heavens. Be yourself, just be you. Set the right example. Keep walking, get off those cars and keep walking. So that's where destiny and life lies. This is my definition of adventure. Quick look, I'm actually out of time. So adventure, the journeys are all within, it's not outside. It's just symbolic. What we see outside is different. My journeys are this way. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. And my universal disclaimer. Sorry. There you go. That's why I need you, John. And thank you very much, and I'll see all of you on